Okay, welcome back everyone. We have Mr. Tan with video on. Um, just again, how are you all doing? Are we good? I can see Mamta joining. Mamta, how are you?
Yeah, fine. Sorry, today I'm a bit late.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, great. Just give a thumbs up, then we can start. We already have our coach here for the session. Okay, thank you. Everyone, let's welcome Mohit. Mohit, over to you.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
sure everyone is just settling, that's why. Otherwise, they'll be on here with
Yes, Divya.
camera and interaction. So,
Yes, I can see that a lot of participants have joined us.
yeah.
I'm just waiting if they can start their cameras too so that I can see. We can see each other and say hi if you're comfortable. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Divya.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Hi. So welcome to today's session and a very interesting topic which we are going to talk about today. So before that, let me introduce myself to you all. My name is Mohit Limba. Hello, everyone. I can see Mr. Tan, Mamta ma'am, and El Pasio. Hi. Great. So, it would be great if we all can interact with each other. I would really appreciate if I receive thumbs ups in chat box, smileys. It would really make it very interactive.
Yeah.
Because this topic today, which we're going to talk about, is very interesting, and I'm sure you have an idea about it. But let me unbox it soon. So about me, my name is Mohit Limba, and I come with the educational background of tourism and travel. And I have studied in my graduation and master's travel, and I am also a diploma in training and development from Indian Society of Training and Development. And about my work experience, I hold around 10 years of experience in various capacities from training and development, business development, public relations, customer service. I work with globally well-known organizations like British High Commission and Hyatt Hotels and Vodafone. And currently I'm working as a coach with Amity. So this is a little bit about me, and I'll be sharing the presentation with everyone. Just let me know if you can see that. Can you see everyone?
Yeah, it's good.
Great. Can we just give a thumbs up? In the chat box, if everyone can see, and we are ready to start. Great. Thank you, Mr. Tan. And from everyone else too. All right. So generating ideas is what you see on the screen, right? Now, this is very interesting topic. This is one of my favorite topics. And you know what? Everyone likes to think of something different, which is more friendly, which is more feasible. About me, like I would like to share a story with you all that how an interesting ideas were interesting to me, and I've always liked and loved to talk about various and different ideas. So when I was a child, in my childhood, I've always lived away from my parents because my father had a traveling job and I was staying away from my parents. So I was mostly staying with guardians in the hostel and at home. Now, Now, it was like for a child, toys are very important. And I was always have less toys for some reason. And in fact, as a child, I would broke it and maybe, misplace it somewhere. Now that urge to have a lot of toys. So I had an idea. So I started making toys from magazines, looking at the magazines, maybe the replica of the toys which my friends have or something. And I started making a lot of toys for myself and I used to play it. And that turned out to be a hobby for me. And I still do that. I still make toys. So ideas can actually impact you and, can give you a direction sometimes in life. So everyone has a lot of ideas. So we'll be talking about that. Now, I have a question for you all. Do you think ideas are important for us?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Everyone?
No. Without idea, we cannot go ahead. First, it's a prerequisite for to do anything. So idea must be required.
Yes, you're right. Mamta? Yes, anyone else? Do you think ideas are important for us?
Yes.
Hello, Professor.
Yes, it's very important for us because before we do something, idea thinking is fast come out. We need to come out idea correctly. That idea is very important before we do something. Yes.
That's great. Now that we know that ideas are important for us, we know that why they're important for us. Anybody else would like to add something? Do they also think that ideas are important?
Hello, Professor, and good morning from Tunisia.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. Yes, is important because with idea we can make strategic planification.
That is right. So ideas, without ideas, we won't evolve further, isn't it? All right. So okay, sorry. Let me share the screen once again. Yes, we can keep talking about the importance of ideas. And yes, definitely, they have the importance. Now, what is there in today's session? What is that we're going to talk about in next few hours is generating insights and what is stopping us from thinking and executing ideas. What are the hurdles? What are the challenges? And then I'm going to share with you the model which will talk about generating ideas and executing it successfully. So there are many models and research has been done, but I'll be sharing with you one of the models. So which will talk about empathizing, defining, ideating, and testing about it. And looking ahead in the session, you will definitely have key takeaways at the end of the session. Now new ideas are necessary for any kind of improvement. So to break that monotony, to break that rut, and to come up with something new, which is feasible. Sometimes you have a lot of ideas, but you struggle to execute it. And sometimes you struggle to generate new ideas. Sometimes there are ideas, sometimes they work, and sometimes they don't. So ideas alone won't make innovation happen. Ideas become innovation only when they are successfully implemented. There is a strategy which is built around it, and there is a systematic process by which they are managed. So ideas are survival. If you think about, a lot of people survive in harsh conditions just because they have ideas, and some idea work in some way. So let's do an activity. I want you all to come up with as many ideas as possible, how we can use a brick. So I want you to share that in our chat box.
Mohit,
Yes.
here I would say that, we can twist this question.
Yeah,
Instead of
because
this-
yesterday the same
Yeah,
thing. So,
Yesterday, Ravi asked the same question, so we can ask them something else except brick. So it will enhance creativity.
All right. So let's
We
take
can-
not
We can change brick by stone.
yes. Stone or a stick.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is all similar. Let's put something.
Sure.
innovative.
So let's think of a stone then. So I want you to think on this and tell me that how many ideas we can have for a stone, for the using a stone. Please share it in the chat box. Any ideas? Let's brainstorm. Let's think about it. What is the first thing which is coming to you? I want you all to share it in the chat box. Mamta.
rather than to write, I want to say because it takes time to write. So just I want to tell you. Such a funny thing. The small stones we used to play like this, no? All the girls and all wanting that, and
Okay.
then
Really?
yeah, that is to hit anybody. We can use that small stone, and to decorate our wall, we can use the small stone also too. If you are talking about the big stone, we can construct the different kind of things through that big stone.
Mhm.
So there's so many.
Okay, very nice. Thank you for participating. Mohammed Adni,
Okay.
what about you?
Professor.
You
Yes. We can use stone to. Yes.
yeah.
Nice to meet you, Professor.
Thank you.
Okay.
To
We
find-
can use a stone to build building for building or to, as Mamata say, to hit someone or to use it as a chair. Stay a little bit. Yes. Great stone. We can use the great stone as a chair.
Okay. All right. So I mean, like it can be used as a weapon. It can be used as a chair, and like Mr. Tan said, to fight against wild animals. Yes. And how about like to weigh things? So there is always, a balance machine wherein you can use stones of some weight. They can be used as a weight also.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, for weighing machine, we can use that stone not to. Yeah.
Yes. Or maybe you can make any structure out of a stone. Maybe you can, create something on it, paint it, and make it look beautiful.
Beautiful. You can use for the decoration too. Yeah, that's right.
Decoration. So, all right. I mean, like we had a lot of ideas here. Thank you for sharing that. Now, my next question to those who have not been able to share. While thinking about the alternatives, what is stopping you? What stopped you?
Professor, I don't have the question.
Mr. Jose. Albasio. Hi, Mr. Victor. I hope you're listening to me. I can't hear you. Mr. Jose. You can share in the chat box. Yeah.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everybody.
Good morning, everyone. So while thinking about the alternatives, what stopped you? What was the hurdle? What was the obstruction? To any idea, if you think, let's take not this, maybe anything else.
Mm,
Was let's say one thing would be,
May I?
yes, yes, tell me.
Yeah, for thinking so many alternatives, the hurdles, maybe the risks, the level of risks, if you are going to the different alternatives, and then the resource available to you, that also sometimes the hurdles or stop thinking on so many alternatives. And then it's all, depend upon your mindset, whether you want some more alternatives or more ideas. Sometimes people think that, okay, this much is okay, no need to go the further exploration. So it's mindset also sometimes,
Very good. Mhm.
so I think mindset and the available resources to you, and then the level of the risks,
Mindset, yes.
the available
Risk,
resources
risk associated also.
also, yeah, the
Yeah.
available resources to you, that also sometimes stop to
Yes.
go the minimum.
Yes, yes, available resources.
Yeah.
Professor, excuse me.
Yes.
I don't hear the question. The question is what stops you to give idea or to generate idea?
Now, my
Yes,
question is that when we are thinking of any idea, so let's say we were thinking of the idea to use a stone. Now, we were thinking of many alternatives. A stone can be used as a weapon, can be used as for art, or maybe as a chair.
lack of knowledge also.
Yes, Mamta?
Lack of knowledge. Sometimes if you have no proper knowledge for that particular topic, it really stops you to give the many more alternatives. So lack of knowledge is also one of the things.
Right, that's right. That's right. I would like to take a note of this. So, Mohammed, I think, so my question was that what is stopping you to think further? Like you had 3 alternatives. So why not 6 alternatives? Why not 10 alternatives? So there was some restriction.
Yes, yes. And
What is
like
that
Mamata,
stopping you to think?
like Mamata say lack of knowledge. Me, I say lack of data. Lack of data.
That is right. So, sometimes you feel that there is a risk associated, there is a
Yeah.
fear to fail. Sometimes we don't have any idea about it. We don't have resources to further go and take it forward, which is
Yeah.
very well said by. Sometimes you don't have the mindset. You know that this is the problem. We know that our planet is dying out of global warming. We know that this is a problem. We want to, serve it in a way, but there are limitations. We don't have resources to it, maybe, or maybe the knowledge. So these are the many ways which
Yeah.
which deprives us, which stops us to think further. So this is what we're going to talk about in detail, and we'll be talking about generating ideas. All right. So I'll be sharing with you a model. So there are many models, there are many research which has been done. I'll be sharing with you a 5-step model here in which will help you to have an idea and then further execute it. Now, starting with empathize. So empathize is what? How well you know about the topic and the problem. How well you know about the issue. Then we go define it. We find the problem. We define the problem. Okay, this is the problem. This is something which I want to address to. Then ideating it. Then how it goes to the market. Prototype. In what form it will go to the market. And then testing it. Yeah. So prototype, in what form it will go to the market. So everything. And then testing it. So whether that will be accepted by the users and the other people or not. So these are the things which we're going to talk about in detail. So let's start with empathizing it. Now, what is empathizing? So empathizing is that there is a problem and we have identified it. There is a topic, we've known it. Now, there are how it is helping the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders in this? So let's say for an example, I have decided to train the teachers for rural education. So in this, my stakeholders are who? Teachers are my stakeholders, the participants are, the instructors are, and the entire team involved in making this happen are my stakeholders. So empathizing further, so we'll be finding out what, why, and how. So what empathize what? So let's say we were talking about this problem. So we will first of all we'll make it as like okay, fine, this is the problem. Why we will empathize? To have a clear picture of it. That what the problem is, who are my stakeholders, and how we'll conduct surveys and interviews. Now let's do an exercise again. Okay, so there is a scenario. I want you all to read it, and we'll be doing activity based on this.
Excuse me, this exercise has already been done by Rajesh sir. The given case study, yeah. Yes, yeah.
You've done this case study?
Yeah, yesterday we did it.
Okay. So all right, let's, because this entire I'm like the session is based on this case study. So let's do it once again. So let's read it. I'm sure you already are aware of this. So Mr. Never Grow Up is the CEO of Always Have Fun Toys Limited, and they are the manufacturers and marketers of physical playthings for the little ones, for the old ones. Sorry. Now, Mr. Never Grow Up has not been able to make profits recently, and they have because a lot of students, a lot of children, kids, they have converted and they've started playing with digital equipments. So they're more into screens, and the toys are not of any use to them. Now, Mr. CEO, Never Grow Up, has come to us and is looking for a solution to challenge his business. Now, what we're going to do, how we're going to help it. I will be breaking you out in rooms. I'll be making teams. We all will go into different teams and we'll discuss about it. The same, what, why, and how.
Professor, this step is to identify the idea.
No, this is to empathize. We have to identify that what we have to empathize.
Yeah, it's digging out the problem. Why this kind of problem is going for this particular company. I think Mr. Mohit wants to relay this message. So we can dig out the problem through this what, why, how.
Yes. So we have to see that how the stakeholders are benefiting. We have to think from the perspective of the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? Like I gave you example, that if I want to train teachers in rural education, my stakeholders are teachers, participants, the trainers who will teach the trainers, teachers, and all the team, entire team. So they all are my stakeholders. So I have to think from the perspective of, is it benefiting them? So is my idea, is my initiative benefiting the people involved in it? So like Mr. CEO has come to us with a problem that children have started using more of gadgets and digital equipments to play and keep themselves engaged. Now the toy fashion has become outdated. Now he is having a loss in business. He's undergoing a recession in his business. So he wants us to give him an alternative. So we are working on this part, and we will be creating what, why, and how for it. I hope this is clear to everyone.
This is in the case of profession. Excuse me. This is in the case when, for example, a company want to launch a new product. It's a general, step to define an idea or to generate an idea.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Mohammed Ajneen?
What this step? Empathize.
Empathize.
Empathize, yes.
Empathize is to keep yourself in the shoes, their shoes, and think that is it benefiting other people also? So when we have an idea, so how it is benefiting those people who are connected and involved in this? I will just have an idea to create anything. So
Anything.
I'm creating that. Is it benefiting also? Is it
Okay,
serving
which-
the purpose also? So that's where we empathize.
We should answer 3 questions: what and why and how
Yes.
for this question, and identify the stakeholders.
Yes. So we have to answer what, why, and how for this. So we have to find out that who are the stakeholders. Now, for an example, we have taken this scenario. So who are the stakeholders in this?
Boys.
Yeah. So we'll be making group. Divya,
Sure. What? How long do you want?
we want it for 10 minutes.
Okay, I'll make 3 groups.
Sure. So I want everyone to get into groups and discuss about it. That who are the stakeholders? Who are the people involved in this? Who is it benefiting actually?
That you mean to say that we have already generated the ideas, and now whether those ideas are benefited or not to our target groups, that's you want to, or something else?
I want to know that who are people benefiting out of it.
Okay.
No, Mamta, we haven't yet generated idea.
The idea,
Now
yeah,
we are
that's yeah. It's just
understanding
digging out the problem, digging out the
Yes,
problem
Yes.
to generate the idea.
Correct.
Is it right?
Right. You're right. I have sent you all breakout invite. Please join your rooms. So over to you, Mohit.
Thank you. All right, so we're back. Yes. So now that we have discussed about the what, why, and hows, my question to you is that who exactly do you think your end users are? We will be remaining on the same scenario of that CEO who has a toy factory. Now, who do you think in this exercise, what we did, we identified who the end users are. So tell me,
Yes.
who are the end users?
It's children.
Children, yes. Very good. Can we write in the chat box also? Children, yes. Kids, very good. And
Parents, Professor, parents.
parents,
I think, sorry, what?
parents, yes, very good.
We can count the parents as a stakeholders rather than the end users. I don't know. It's comes in my mind only. That's because there are so many stakeholders, but the ultimate end users for the toys are the kids. So I don't know. Maybe I'm right or wrong, but
So Mamta, kids are the users. Users are the stakeholders, but who is going to buy it? Pay for it? Parents. They are also involved.
Parents.
Yeah. And now tell me, what are the challenges they face? What challenges they face? The kids, the parents.
as I know that the kids are very, the greedy towards the new things. So nowadays it's the IT era, and then everyone, every kids are attracted towards the digital screen. So it's a challenge for the particular company how to attract them from that digitalization to their toys. So that's one of the challenges. the mentality of the current scenario of the kids. That's one of the main challenges.
Yes, very good. And what are the challenges for parents? Like you said, parents also you identified are your end users.
The parents cannot use money for buying toys. Maybe budget,
The budget?
yes.
Yes, very good. That's very true. So parents will have a budget for toys and for entertainment for their kids. And what do you think are their needs and expectations which must be met?
The toy should be equipped with digitally, should be digital. Digital. The toy should be digital with screen touchable.
Yes. So this is what they are expecting it to be touch friendly.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. Anything else from everyone? Anyone? So now that we have empathized, we have identified that how it is the idea. Now the problem of the CEO is that the products and the toys are not being they are not being purchased by the parents and the kids. Now the problem is we know the problem. Now we have empathized that who the stakeholders are. Now let's further go and define it. Define the problem. Now, what is defining? So defining is creating that problem statement. So when we have empathized, we have the problem in front of us. Let's create now, because we are generating idea. We are going to create an idea at last. So we have to first see what the problem is. So what we're going to do is we will create a problem statement and why it is important. Again, what, why, and how. Why it is important so that we can address specific challenges. We can cater to few challenges which we encounter. And how we can do that is by conducting surveys and by observation sessions. Okay. So let's consider these as our stakeholders. CEO itself is a stakeholder because he has his business, he's involved into it. He will be affected if toys are not purchased. Kids are, parents are, and also the psychologists. So these are the stakeholders prominently which we have taken. Now I want you all to create a problem statement, keeping in mind the same what, why, and how. So I'll be breaking you out again in the rooms, and I want you to come up with the problem statement for this, for the CEO. So problem statement for, so you can think, what is the problem for CEO? What are the challenges of CEO? What as a kids are facing? What are the problems for kids? What as a parents the problem is? What as a psychologist the problems are? So
How
let's
should they define, Professor, we should define the problem for each stakeholder
yes. Okay.
because it's changed from stakeholders to another.
Exactly. That's right. For CEO, it's going to be the business. We'll discuss that. So let's
Mohit, we can do that way, or else we can also divide them as breakout group as per child, parent. Like few of them would be child, thinking from child's perspective. Some of them would be parent. Some of them would be psychologists. So that way we create a 4 breakout room and divide them into it. What do you suggest?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay. Yeah. So participants, I'll be editing your group name. So based on that, you will know what is your role. Okay. So child, parent, psychologist, and the fourth one. Okay, I am recreate. All the rooms are open. Please join. Mohit, please try if you are able to join multiple rooms now.
Everyone is back.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. So now that we are all back, we have discussed the challenges. What are the challenges of CEO? What are the problems for CEO? What are the problems for kids, parents? Now my question to you is that what is the problem statement of a CEO? So who were the CEOs?
Our group.
Great. So I want your group to tell us, everyone.
Okay, we have, may I, India? Could you allow me?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, okay. So, so from our group, we listed the four challenges faced by the CEO.
Okay.
The first one is, to compete with this digital world. That is one of the big challenge for that CEO. The second one, how to attract the attention of the kids. Nowadays, kids are more deviating towards the digital screen, but rather than to go the digital screen, how to attract towards their toys, one of these big challenges. And then third one, I think it's a very good one. The resources available for the CEO, conversion from the analog to digital, how their toys are converted from analog to digital. So because if you want to change from one framework to another framework, the entire operating should be changed for those. So this one is the third one, and the fourth one is the time frame, the available time for the CEO, because it's already going on the loss. So it's a time frame is also a big thing for the CEO. This was from our group.
Good. Very nice. So we have the problem statement for CEO. Very good. Now let's go to parents.
Thanks.
Yes. So what problem statement? What is the problem parents are encountering?
Okay, Professor, thank you. We discussed the parent problem statement, and we define that for parents, the toys, the attractiveness of the toys. The toys should be attractive for kids.
Attractiveness.
Attractiveness, yes, and innovative.
Innovative.
Yes, innovative.
Okay. Innovative.
And perhaps, yes, and perhaps educative.
Educative. This is very important. This is very important. So parents would really think that something which they are buying, something which they are paying for, should also educate their kids. Then increase the level of understanding and responding to things.
Yes.
Yes, I want to add.
Yes.
For group 2, for CEO, we have to analyze the market. What are the demands of the market, especially our main customer case, and we have to analyze our environment and market, and what are the demands of our customers and our competitiveness. So what we have to change, something, our project, our design, something we have to analyze the market demand. And so we need to innovate our product and also price we have to have competitive price with other other competitor. And for kids, kids are very interested in drawings, especially attached in ICT. So we have to develop our product compare with other products. And for parents, our parents want the parents normally want their kids to be something benefit written from our product. So what benefit our customers, parents need to so we have to analyze this. Our parents want to develop their children's knowledge, personal skill, interpersonal skill, or something like this. We have to analyze this, what the parent want to develop their children. That is all. Thanks, sir.
Great. Very, very useful insight. Thank you, Mr. Dan. I hope this helps everyone. Now I want to come to psychologists and kids for their problem statement. What do you think is their problem? Yes. El Pacio. Mr. Jose. Yes, El Pacio. I hope you're there. Anyone else who would like to add?
For psychologists, we have to understand the generation. Our target audience is Gen Z. What Gen Z behave? We have to know. Psychologists need to analyze the behavior of our customer, Gen Zs. If our product is our target audience is kids, but our products are familiar with baby boomer, Gen Z, Generation Y. It's not matching our product and customer. So we psychologists need to understand targeted customer behavior. So what the Gen Zs behave in different way from other generations. That is psychologists, challenges for psychologists, I think. Thank you.
Very, 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 very useful. Yes, Andrea.
Thank you. Yes, I would like to add the challenges for kids could be that they want immediate reward in this digital world. They are used to, since little kids, to get immediate reward. And that is a challenge, as well as we said in the CEO challenges. But kids also, like from the psychologist perspective, they should get a product that does satisfy their need to immediate reward, but at the same time, it should learn them to teach them to get some patience too. So I think that is the challenge there, to give him a toy that will actually educate them.
Okay, very nice. So we have understood from everyone's point of view, what is the problem. Now that first we empathize that who the stakeholders are, who that is the problem we are catering to. The problem was that students, the children, the kids started using digital devices. Now the CEO is finding it very challenging to manufacture toys and his business is going into loss. What should I do then? So we emphasized that who the stakeholders are, who are the people involved. Then we defined the problem from the everyone's perspective. Now, this what is the CEO who's facing the challenges? What's the challenge of the CEO? That he has to make sure that the product is innovative, is meeting the market trend. He has the resources to cater the the innovation, or maybe the research is continuous up to the mark, and he's making those toys which are attractive also, and like Mr. Tan said, innovative, and has the competitive price. Now from the parents' perspective, like Mohammed Adneen said, should also look innovative, attractive to them, so that they buy it for their kids. And parents would also think that is it also educating their kids, so that when they further go to study or maybe do something else, they have an understanding of reasoning, for ability to aptitude, lot of things. For the psychologists, it is important. Psychologists think the problem is that children, by using devices, they will continuously, become cranky, intolerant to things. Now they're not moving in the field, they're not playing in the fields, maybe they're not climbing trees. So they're actually not very fit. The strength will reduce over the period of time. Their mobility, their agility would decrease from generations to generation if everyone would look into just the screens. And it will also affect their mental health and their eyes. So psychologists thinking like that. Kids have a problem that kids want something which is quick and change. So if you're playing with a toy, how long can you play? Kids want something which is responding back. Maybe there is a sound, maybe there's a change in the screen, colors. So it has to be more entertaining. So now that we've defined the problem, now let's further go. And we will be talking about ideating it. Now let's take a quick break for 10 minutes and
Yes,
then get
yes.
back. Yes, you were saying something.
Very good.
Yes, so we'll be taking this further, and let's take a quick break and get back.
Okay, okay. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, 10 minutes break.
Okay.
I hope everyone is back. Now this is going to be more interesting. I hope everyone is back. Can I have a thumbs up from everyone? Okay, so now that we have empathized, we have made a problem statement, we have identified the problem. Now what we do is ideate. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, you're audible.
Great. So now that we have done everything, we will ideate. Now, what is that we do in ideation? What we do is we come up with as many ideas as possible, as many possibilities, as many solutions we can provide. So what we will do is we'll come up with as many ideas. So we have the problem statement. On that basis, we will ideate. We will address that problem with an idea. So let's think of an idea, everyone. And why is that important? Because we want to explore new possibilities. We want alternatives to solve that. And how we are going to do it? We will do brainstorming. We can do reverse thinking by brain writing, starboarding, and focus group. There are many ways which we can do that. So now that we have the problem, let's divide everyone in the group, and we will now ideate within the group. I want everyone to think. We'll again create groups, and you have time to think about it and I come up with an idea. Keeping in mind what was the problem statement for CEO, parents, kids, and psychologists. All right. So Divya, are you there?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Great. So let's make three groups and let's get them discussing about the ideas, the possible ideas.
Sure. Okay, all groups are open now.
Please, everyone, join it. Join the groups.
Finally, we see. Good morning. Good morning from Tunisia. Okay, to Peru.
Good morning, everyone. It's 2 a.m. here in Peru.
So,
What time? It's 2
2 in the
a.m.
morning.
Wow.
Yes.
Tunisia. Now it's 8 o'clock a.m. We start
Nice.
at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock a.m.
so hi everyone, we're back.
We start here at 12:30. Yes, Professor, we're back.
Yes. So now that we have ideated, I want you all to share that what ideas did you come up with?
I can speak, Professor.
Yeah, I'm saying that what ideas did you think of?
Yes.
Let's share.
As we discussed with Mr. Victor and Tida, Ms. Tida, we define idea according to the CEO point of view. The toy should be low cost, attractive, and very well according to the market penetration.
Okay. So toy should be
Attractive,
attractive. Okay.
low cost, the cost of
So
of the
what was
production.
the idea? How would you design a toy? What is the idea? Everyone
Attractive.
in your group, Dipesh was there, and Thida, Victor, right?
According to the CEO point of view, the toys should be attractive.
Attractive, yes. Okay, so this is your idea, attractiveness. Okay, and what else?
Low cost on you, according to the production of these.
Okay, low cost and
And,
so you'll make a toy which is attractive and which is low cost. What else you will do with the toy?
should be sell good penetration in the market.
Good
Penetration in the market.
in good penetration in the market. Okay. Market it.
Market it, yes.
Okay. All right. And what about the other team? What do you have to say about what are your ideas?
Okay.
Dunio, Jones, Mamta,
Mr. Tan, is it
Priyanka.
okay that I start present the product?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So our team thought of a product as a digital board, like a magic board is board, but this is a digital board. And we thought that this combines perfectly the creativeness of the kid because he uses his hands and he can be in contact with his own creations in the board, as well as it relates to him with a digital device that the kids are these days the kids are very used to using digital devices. So we think this is a perfect product for this. And Mr. Tam can give you your opinion from the parent perspective.
Yeah, yes. As a parent, my children as a parent, children waste so many of their time. They waste a lot of time, so I have to I have to get something message from the. I hope to get something for my children from this drawings. So as a parent, healthy product, healthiness for the children, and educated drawings or game, something like this for the children. Most of the are not benefit from the product. So I want to be children to get benefit from that. Okay, for example, to support the language skills, to support social skill, to support educate. We need to get something from the product. That is, and some of the drawings are very higher price for us. So
The price is one of the factors which you're looking
yes,
at.
the solution is we can able to buy at fair price. We need to be fair price, and we need to be educate something for our children from this product, and we need to progress our children intelligence, something like this. This is as a parent, this is our
Okay.
problem. Yeah, yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Tan, for sharing it. Yes, Mamta, we would like to.
I think other groups already shared regarding the fusion of their existing toys with the digital one. I think Andrea, she shared, and then about the price they already shared. I want to add another thing, the target group. If the existing organizations are focusing on the upper level, but if they want to sell their existing toys, because still in our community there are certain groups who have no access to the digital area, deprived group, and that means marginalized group. They can focus, they can change their target group, so they might sell their product to that group rather than to sell the upper one, because you know that in our community there are certain groups, they have still no access to those digital screen and all those things. So I think as being a CEO, we can change our target groups.
Target groups, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
and one more thing on the marketing. This is the age of the marketing. This is the era of the marketing. If you are repeatedly, you are doing something, advertisement of your toys, then the kids can attract towards your toys. That's the one thing, that's the promotional area. And then you know, this is the era of the promotional of your item, giving the digital toys. You can make a free of your toys also with that toys, so that they're able to know, you know, the benefit or the entertainment through your toys. So along with the digital toys, you can provide your toys with that as a scheme, so they can
Okay.
able to know about you know, the criteria, about the, you know, the character feature of your toys. So it all comes under the
That will
promotional
educate
tools.
them, yeah.
Yeah, they can educate you about your toys, because some groups may do not know about your toys. So while they're using the digital screen, while they're using the digital toys, why not you are giving why not you are providing that kind of scheme? So I think this also works in coming future. If at a time you are not going to change your entire operating frame, you can use this kind of tools also from my. So target group,
Thank you.
marketing promotional tools, and the location of your warehouses nearby the certain museum or park, and then all those things.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing so many insights, and with great ideas. So that can educate also. It can also keep up the pace of the recent trends, and it will also be cost effective, like what I have learned from you all sharing it. So whatever you make is going to be cost effective, and you also shared that you will do market it, and you will brand it in a way that it reaches to everyone
Yeah.
who would definitely should buy it.
You can diversify your products so that you can focus the different target group,
Yes, so you are also focusing on different target groups.
target groups. Yeah.
It's going to be for different ages. That means, so from a child which is from 2 to 5 years would not play with a toy which is a child who is 15 or 14 years who is playing. So you have kept that also in mind, which is very good, very good. So let's now, like we have come up with so brilliant ideas. Now let's go and do something which is the fourth step to it. Let's create the prototype of it. Now, quickly, I want you all to create a prototype of it. Now, why is that important? Why creating a prototype is important? So that it can be measured, it can be scaled. So I have an idea that I should have a toy of this size, or maybe of this size, whatever it is. So we have to scale it, how my toy would look like. And why is that important? Why is this important? So that it can be tested on real users. Now, because we're suggesting this to the CEO, and the suggestion which goes to him should not bring failure in the execution. What we have to do is we have to test it also. And how we're going to test it? By in various forms. So maybe we can make a paper model. It can be of a digital prototype. It can be some interactive device, anything. So now we will create a prototype of it. How we'll give it a form. Now that we have the ideas, so far we have thought of the ideas that how it will look like this, it will cater to different market, it's going to be price effective, everything, a lot of ideas. Now how it would look like. So let's work on this and quickly get back to the same groups. And I give you some time to come up with the prototype of it. Divya, are you there?
Yeah,
Professor,
I'm there.
Yes. So let's work on the prototype.
Yeah.
Let's create a prototype.
Mohit, Mohammed has a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
just to remember the problem. The original toy is a simple toy, just for kids to enjoy kids only simple toy.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's simple. You think of anything, brainstorm, anything. It could be simple. It can be a complex toy as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clear.
So how friendly it is, everything. We will send you back to your same groups, and you will think as a CEO, parent, and a kid and psychologist about how your toy would look like, how it will be tested, how it will reach to the user who is going to actually use it. All right. So Divya, let's go ahead and
Yeah, just a second. Okay, all the rooms are open. Please join. Hida, Nitesh, please join your groups. Mohit, Priyanka is from our team.
okay, fine.
Okay, I think so. There are only 2 participants. Nitesh hasn't joined in group 2. So I'll put them in group 1 and 3.
No.
Let it be. Okay.
We can do that. But the next thing which you have to do will completely depend on this. Let it be.
Okay, no issues. Let it be. We can
Let-
add 1 more people there if we get. Yeah.
Theda, please join the group if you're listening to us.
No issues, Mohit. Let's join the group.
So we are back after working on the prototypes.
Yes.
Great.
We're back.
So are we all ready with the prototypes? Wonderful. So now what we are going to do
Yes,
is, what we are going to do is we're going what we did. We earlier empathized, then we defined, we made a problem statement. When we had problems in front of us, we came up with a lot of ideas. We did a brainstorming. We came up with few filtered ideas, very important ideas. And when we had the ideas, what we did, we gave it a form.
Yes, prototype.
Now, when we have the prototype in front of us ready, we have it in our minds. What we're going to do is we're going to test it.
Okay.
So we have to test it. And why we have to test it? Again, these 3 questions: what, why, and how. So what we are going to do is we'll see that the prototype, how useful is going to be for the users. So when it is used by real people, kids, and it is bought by parents, how it is going to be. And why is that important? Why testing is important? Testing is important so that we know what are the areas of improvement. For an instant, let's say we have created something, maybe we have catered to an idea, maybe it is not very welcoming, maybe it's not very friendly, it can harm children, or maybe it can be very destructive, or it can be used as a weapon. We know that, right? So we will see that what are the areas, what kind of material we should use, and how are we going to use that? How we are going to test it? We will run user testing sessions. We will observe how, for a period of time, that how it is being used, what is the response coming from the users, and how they are interacting with that product, how a user is interacting with that product throughout it. So in this testing, this is going to be very interesting now. So now that we have the teams, you have all come from the teams. So now what is going to happen is the prototypes will be tested, and how we're going to test it is that every team will present their product. So the CEO of the company, you must have decided who is going to be the CEO of their own groups. The CEO will present the product, and the rest of the teams, kids and parents, will see and will tell and will give the feedback whether they have liked the other team's prototype or not. So they will give the feedback, because eventually it's the kids. The kids are the first target audience, because they will want to buy it. And the parents are second target audience, because they will pay for it. And it can also be vice versa. Parents might feel that they should buy and pay for the product because this is going to be useful for the kids. Maybe they will have a learning, maybe they will have a better understanding to a lot of things. So the CEO of every team will present, and the other team, kids and parents, will give feedback on this. All right.
Okay, good.
All right. So everyone, so who is going to be the first one? Who's the CEO of?
Can we start, Professor?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So please let me share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
We have, I can't share it from here. Oh, okay, now I can, now I can. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So as a group, we thought of a product as we shared before. We thought of a digital board for kids, and we have these 3 pictures here because we don't find in the market a product that has all these 3 things that we need. First one, we like the shape of this image. The colors are attractive for kids, and also it's big, so the kid can have plenty of space to create. The second image here on my left, it shows the type of screen we want, because we want a dark screen so it doesn't harm the kid's eyes, because Mr. Tan shared from his parent perspective that LED screens are very dangerous for the eyes. And as a third component of this digital board, we think of a pen as a component that has to be there also, because as we want kids to use their fingers and hands, we also want to train them in the using of a pen, that eventually they will grow and also have to learn how to grab a pen. So this is the prototype of the idea we came up with. We would love to hear your feedback.
Yes, so the parents and the kids from other team, please tell us, did you like the product? What do you have to give the feedback to this group?
Amazing device.
Yes, you wanted to say something, Mohammed Adneen? You've raised your hand.
It's amazing device because he's provided by Andrea.
Mhm. Okay. And yes, parents, yes, kids, did you like it? Would you tell your parents to buy it? I want everyone to give inputs. Victor?
Professor,
Yes.
you should have some gifts from Andrea for this device.
Gifts?
Send us some gifts.
CEO would answer that. All right, so that I think everyone has liked it then. Mamta, what do you have to say about it? Will you buy this product as a kid or as a parent?
Yes.
We can't hear you, Mamta. Yes, Victor.
Yeah, sorry, it was muted earlier. Now I'm unmuted. I'm thinking that being the parents, being the guardian, the age level of the kids, I think rather than to this digital board for my kids, I don't know the target group is who one is the target group for now. CEO, whatever she suggested. But my perspective nowadays, it is very generalized to everyone that digital board. I have the practical example, practical experience that while my kids using the digital board, it's not there is no durability, of that digital board and all those things. It's easily, that going to be damaged by the kids. It's a handling problem by them. So I'm not going to prefer though, because yeah, one perspective is good. They start to write with the pencil with that digital board. They're able to learn how to, take the pencils, and that's a good perspective. But a handling perspective, it's not durable. And it's very common in our common society nowadays. Rather than to put the digital on the block, I prefer to, before writing, they start to first learn, So I'm suggesting to provide the block like the A, B, C. That is the block, different block of the A, B, C, or different alphabet. That a block one, the toys is very, that everyone prefer in my society. It's my practical example or practical experience on that part.
I understand. Lovely. Thank you very much. And the other team CEO, please present your prototype.
Yes, Professor.
Yes. So please tell us about your prototype.
Okay, after our brainstorming with Victor and the other friends, we decided to launch in the market prototype. The prototype of Andrea, cell phones, or a tablet equipped with Android operating system, and equipped with amazing games. Amazing games to attract kids and to stimulate their neural activity and their intelligence. Sorry, we haven't a prototype. We haven't a slide like Andrea. But next time we will prepare a slide like our friend Andrea.
The company should have the expert to design that prototype.
Yes, we will export.
Because that for managerial perspective, we can give the features, we can give the design, we can give the different criteria, but actually to designing the prototype either in the paper, either in the 3D, or either in the digital one, the experts should design on that part. I think we have no any expert to design our features and all those things. But we should keep in mind that prototypes should be first launched for the tested one, for testing one. We should keep in our mind.
It is very important, we need to test it. We need to see what is the user's response to it.
Yes. That's
so
the
that,
main thing.
we can improve it before we completely launch it. And okay, fine. So will we buy this product as a parent and kid? The product which is presented by Mohammed Edneen and its team, are we going to buy it?
I have given my feedback already. I think
Anyone?
the others one.
All right. So let's go to the third team and see what is that they have as a prototype. So Mamta.
Actually, in our team, we just focused the different. We haven't designed like Andrea. She presented very well in the PowerPoint. That's already shared that we, as a managerial perspective, every managers, our teams, every department provide that different kind of features with different kind of idea and just combine it, and then for launching as a sample, we first design the prototype to improve to get improvement from the feedback from our direct customers or direct audiences. So our team just thought, we did not design, that physically didn't design like the India is very appreciated to her. And then about the prototype, we decided to launch as a block, alphabetic block, and then an alphabetic, the pamphlet like that, so that before writing, they just enjoy to learn, enjoy to listen, all those things with their toys, So we just decided to launch as a block, alphabetic block, and then the musical instrument that sings different certain rhymes and all those things. So certain kind of toys.
Wonderful. That's very good, Mamta. Yes, everyone, what do we have to say about it?
The musical instrument is the fusion of the digital one as well as the analog one.
Yes, it is.
It is the fusion. I just had already shared that if you fused, the both a kind of technology as well as the analog, the previous toys. The look one like the previous toy, and then the inner side of the features like the digital one. So it's a musical instrument like all those. Not completely analog, not completely digital. It's the fusion. So it might work or it gives the both sense to our children.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. So exactly, I mean, like, this is what we were talking about. Now now this is exactly what is generating idea. So how did we go about working on it? So first we empathized, and we figured out, do we know the problem well? Do we know the topic on which we have to generate idea well? Empathizing, knowing, keeping ourselves in the position of the stakeholders and seeing it from their perspective, whether it's going to benefit them. So empathizing and defining it further, making a problem statement that what are the problems it will address, it will cater to, and then further going and ideating it. So how it is going to take a form in the market. It is going to be circulated in the market in the form of, we covered everything. In fact, you went ahead and you talked about branding, promotion, everything. And then creating it in the 3D form, a prototype, how it will look like, how it will reach to the user, and how it's going to look like, and then coming to the test. So observing the response from the users. So how it is going to be taken by them, so whether it's going to be successful or not. Now let's see if after the end of this session, like we are going to end this session now. So tell me if there is any one thing which you have learned from this. What is one insight you're taking away from this workshop today?
Well, I think to get a great product or generate a great idea, we have to first, as you just said, Professor, we have to first know well the problem and empathize with the final user. So we get the idea well, and we fulfill the need for their problem.
That's wonderful. Anyone else? What is the one insight which you're taking?
With this workshop, what the information or the knowledge enhanced myself that in order to compete the market, to compete the market, we should just dig out the problem first. So we now know the sequence. Only digging out the problem, but how we are going digging out the problem, we should know that one. Just you mentioned that what, why, how. So if you know the what, why, how, then it will completely, that complete the process. So that I know that to launch anything, to execute any idea, just you should, that execute those idea in, that rather than to physically, but in assumption, the risk level, and then what is the impact level. So what I know, the sequence, how we're going to, that generate the idea, the sequence of the generating the idea, I came to know from this workshop, like what, why, how. If you know the sequence, it will be very easy, to generate the ideas.
Wonderful.
Sometimes the lack of the sequence, that mismatch, messy. If you have idea, but it is going to be messy one. That's why the sequence helps very much.
Wonderful to know that. So yeah. Yeah. Yes,
Professor?
I'm listening.
Okay. So for me, the summarize of this workshop is to succeed in concretizing an idea. You should follow 5 steps. Emphasize and rest. And define the idea and ideate a prototype and test.
Wonderful. Great.
We should apply this every time. This model every time.
Okay. Wonderful. So this is where we end the session today. And I'm glad that we have takeaways from this session. And we'll definitely, whenever we have ideas, we have anything coming up, this is the model which we follow.
Thank you, Mohit.
Yeah. Thank you so
for
much, Mr.
generating
Mohit.
Thanks.
So many ideas.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much, everyone, for staying with us. Pleasure meeting you all.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very
Now
much.
let's have a launch.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. We all part for a break, 30 minutes break. We'll be back by 1:50, and then we have another coach who will be taking Mohit's idea ahead and help us figure out goals around it. So we come back at 1:50 IST. Have a good
How much the break?
half an
Divya?
hour, 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Ah, half an hour. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. See you now.
See you now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, Mr. Victor. Hi.
Yes, hello. Fine, fine. Thank you. Yourself?
Oh, thank you. How are you?
Fine, fine.
You
Thank you
en-
very much.
Great. You enjoyed the session?
Yes, yeah, very enjoyed. Yes, yes. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
another interesting session is waiting. So
Yeah,
yeah, what
okay.
about the rest of the what about the rest of the participants? Are we all back?
Yeah, they will
After
back.
this.
They will back for sure. They will come.
They'll come, sure. So
Okay, sure. Yeah.
great. So where are you from, Mr. Victor?
From
This is the time
Mozambique.
everybody joins, yeah? Sorry,
No
Mozambique.
problem. From Mozambique.
Oh,
Victor,
great.
from Mozambique. Yeah.
Okay, great, Mozambique. And how are you finding these sessions? I mean, it's the third day. Are you finding it good learnings?
Sorry, I didn't get you, Professor.
How are you finding these sessions? It's the day third. So you already have 2.5 days of sessions.
No, sorry. For myself, I only get the sessions today.
Okay. So
Yeah, because the arrangement, I have the first lesson and was perfect. No, it was very
perfect.
good. Yes. For myself, only I get today because there's some procedures we have to follow too.
Okay.
Yeah, it took a little bit longer, but okay. Anyway, I'm here now.
We're welcome to have you here, sir.
Thank you very much, Nisha. Yeah.
Great. So yes. So other participants, are we all here? Okay.
They attending
They're joining.
They're attending the first lesson. I believe they will. They were
Oh yeah,
attending the first.
definitely they would. Definitely they would, sir. Oh yes, hello, Mr. Tom. If I'm pronouncing it right.
It's Aparicio.
Aparicio. Hi. Hi, sir. Where are you from then?
I'm also from Mozambique.
The same country. Wonderful.
Yes, actually, we are colleagues, directly colleagues.
Okay. That's great. So how many from your team are joining this session?
For now, we are two, both of us. Maybe someone, another colleague will come, maybe, we don't show. Yeah.
Again, since the procedure is lengthy, so it takes time, right?
Yes, it takes time.
Okay, we really hope for more people to join.
Yes.
Great. So about others, yes, I guess Rafael is here. Tida, are we here? Give me a thumbs up if you're here so that we can go on joining the session. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Give me a thumbs up if you're here. I guess we can wait for a minute and then we begin with the session with whosoever has joined. People will join because we are already ahead and it's already 1:50.
Yes. It's 1:50 on that side.
Oh, yes, it's definitely. Oh, for my side, it's 1:50 afternoon.
Yeah.
I don't know the clock there, but I can see that it's 6:35.
No, it's 10
It's
o'clock
one
here.
o'clock.
10,
Okay, it's
it's
10
10,
o'clock
20,
there.
10,
All right.
10:20. 10:20.
10:20. Oh, great. So, Divya, are you here? Should we begin? Or do we need to wait for more people?
Yeah, let's wait for more people. I think I will join. They will join very soon. I believe that.
Okay, let's wait for another couple of minutes, maybe. Divya, can we have you here?
Hello, doctor.
Hi.
Hi, hi. Nice to meet you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was on mute. Nice to meet you too. So welcome back to the session, Stan. Okay,
Yes.
Andrea is also here. That's great. So we have people joining in. Wonderful. That's wonderful. I would really like to see you all on camera. Oh, hi, Mr. Mohammed Adnan.
Hi.
I need to pronounce Adnan.
Hi.
Great. Hi.
Yes, yes. From Tunisia. From Tunisia.
Okay, Tunisia. Nice city. So it's wonderful to have people from different cultures on board. We get to learn actually in a wonderful manner. So
Welcome, Dr. Kirti.
Thank you. So I guess we can begin with the session. We're already
Yes, I think everyone is.
Great, thank you. So let me first introduce myself. I'm Dr. Kirti Bala. I'm associated with Amity University, India, Rajasthan. And to be very specific, is the capital city, Jaipur. And I'm a soft skill trainer here. I do take sessions, training sessions from business executives, upper management level people. And most of my training sessions are based on, strategic thinking, management kind of things. And of course, soft skills. I have taken a few training sessions like for people like BSF, that's Border Security Forces here, the bank employees. So that's the core area that we have. And today we would be talking about one very interesting topic, understanding issues. So by now, I know that we have been talking about strategic thinkings and how we can deliver results. Since we are into that process, we would be progressing with that process by actually understanding how to understand issues and how exactly to go ahead with multiple things. So with that, I really look forward to some exciting sessions, interactions, learnings happening here with the entire cohort. So here we go.
Professor.
Oh, sorry, Adnan, I couldn't get you.
It's the same as ideas to action, because we have in the plan ideas to action.
It is ideas to action, definitely, sir. It's basically the next step, one step ahead. So when we are actually into that process of ideation and before taking actual steps, how do we actually reach to a common platform wherein we understand what all hurdles or problems we have? So this is actually our next 100 minutes that we're going to talk about. So we would be talking about the context. What stops us? That's, of course, questioning the context and understanding what stops us reaching the final goals. Issues around that goals is the major idea that we would be discussing here. We would try to break it, define it, identify the issues, explore the areas around, visualize what impact it has on the conditions that, or the decisions that we are taking up. Then we would talk about the possible solutions that we can think of and what alternatives because of course we have to be ready with plan A and B and everything. And of course, the steps ahead, because moving ahead, what can be our actions and tips and other stuff. So that's the next step that we have. So to begin with, set up the context now. There are two images on screen. I really would like you all to be on camera and interacting, because that would help us all to share ideas together. So yeah, there are two images. Can we identify these two images and find out what's common among them?
The first is the Tata car.
Oh, sorry.
The first in the left, the first,
Yes.
the red, it's a Tata car, perhaps electric car.
Yes,
And
it's a Tata
the
car.
other is connected glass.
Other is a glass. What sort of glass it is, sir?
Connected glass.
Connected glass. And what is that? I mean, I have never heard of this term, connected glass.
Google glass, please.
Google Glass. Yes, 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 it is. Now, can we really find anything which is common among them? What's common? There's a car and there's a Google Glass. What is common among them?
Innovation.
Innovation. Wonderful. That's one of the very exciting answers. And other than innovations, can we really see more things which are common in terms of their, practicality, or maybe brand values, or maybe market performances?
The design.
The design, which is very innovative, I guess.
Yes.
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 And
Yeah.
yes. And anybody else? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about it further. This, of course, is a Tata Nano car. Let's look at some interesting facts. This car was actually launched in year 2009, the Guinness Book of World Record. This gave Tata Nano the title of world's cheapest car. Now, it is, if I talk about the Indian currency, it's a car which is in 1 lakh. So the Tata small car, it's fueled by lifting the hood. That's one interesting factor about it. And its costing was actually very compensated by all these features. This was very small, but it has very good ground clearance, which probably people look for in the, the CDO SUVs and other stuff. And also, it was quite spacious. So these are very important features because it has good mileage. It in terms of functionality, it was very good. It was quite a low maintenance car, but as a product, Nano was unable to perform in terms of sales. Despite having all these features, despite being loaded with all the essential qualities of being an interesting vehicle to buy, it failed in terms of sales.
How much it costs in India? This
in India, it's 1 lakh rupees. So it's actually, if I compare it, it's the cost of a normal bike, two-wheeler. It's a normal bike that people buy. That's around 1 lakh, and this particular Nano car costed around 1 lakh only. So people could decide to buy either a two-wheeler vehicle or a four-wheeler car. So it was very, very similar. There was marginal difference, but still it didn't succeed in terms of sales. And if I go on figures, when this product was launched, it was estimated that per year sales would be around 300,000 units. But in the course of 10 years, because Tata stopped manufacturing this particular car in 2018, and the total units sold were 300,000 units. So the estimate which they had for 1 year could only be achieved in the span of 10 years. So they had to stop production. So it was a measurable fail. What was the reason, despite having all these features and Tata, a big brand? So what could be the possible reasons? What do you think? You can unmute yourself, say it, you can mention in the chat box.
Maybe it's not too modern than the other cars.
Maybe it's not too, sorry, sir.
It's not too let's say, modern than other cars?
Oh, yes, maybe it was not too modern, but it did have all the features, of course, not the very unique, what you call it, advanced facilities, of course, it did not have, and that is one of the reasons. But I would actually share a story since I got this reference from you. Mr. Ratan Tata, he actually started working towards this project because he was once traveling in when it was on a quite rainy day. And of course, if you have visited India earlier, you could say that the streets are very, crowded at times. So he saw a family of 4, right? Two-wheeler, wherein only 2 people are allowed. So a couple and the 2 kids were riding the same bike, and they were very drenched because it was raining heavily. It was very risky. It was really a tough drive, and he could really think of that. Why can't a common, lower class family afford a car? And that was the reason he invented it. I mean, he actually developed this product. He made sure that this is very cost-efficient product so that the needs of the common people are fulfilled. So, of course, the purpose was not to provide something with advanced feature. The purpose was that people in general, the general common masses, are able to afford a car-like product, a 4-wheeler, right, which is very, very, convenient. And it has all the required features into it, but still it failed.
Okay, professional.
And how would you explain, sir? Mr. Mohammed?
Yes, the sound is not very clear, but for me, the main reason is that the customer are not expected such little car. They like great car and comfortable car, as Victor say, and modern car and with tactile screen, etc.
Yes, exactly. When it comes to a 4-wheeler, nobody would want to, get a very ordinary looking things. Yes, that might be a reason. So why did it happen that somebody who's producing that, which is very low maintenance, low cost wala product, and they are not thinking about that it could fail? So was there any loopholes in the market research?
The question, Professor?
It is, was there any, what was the reasons? I mean, of course, the reasons that we are talking about, but what worked behind those reasons? How did it possibly happen? Was the market research not preferably done?
Yes, very good question, this one.
So what can be the possible answer for this good question, Victor?
I think, may I?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. In the previous session, we just went through the generating the ideas and it's a prototype and all those things. So I think in this case, the testing process, that after coming into the idea, when you develop the prototype of that particular nano, and then prototype maybe not proper way tested in the market before launching the overall that actual product. So one of the lacking maybe there, the testing perspective of the prototype may be lacking there. The proper testing, the proper channel way, that's one the reason. So before launching, they can improve on it after getting the taste of that prototype. So I think one of this might be, I don't know the exact problem that, but my, my perception, my assumption can say that it might be.
Of course, assumptions work, and of course, we would be talking about. Thank you, Ms. Mamta. And yes, this is one of the reasons. Yes, Andrea. Yes, Andrea.
Yes, Professor. Can you hear me well? Because I think I'm having trouble with my mic. Okay.
No, of course, you're clear.
Thanks. I think it's a marketing problem because this product actually solves the problems of people who can't afford a car because it's cheap, it's small,
and it has all the features basic features that a car needs. But people don't want to have a PT reward, a PT car. They don't want to feel like they are having the lowest thing in the market. So I think the idea and selling the idea of this product should have been more appointed on how to level up instead of saying, okay, here is a cheap car and you can now buy this car. No, maybe the publicity should have been different, understanding the psychology of people.
Of course, and that's very, very nicely taken up, Ms. Andrea. Yes, it was not understanding the people's psychology.
Yeah,
So when
it's
we
one
talk about
perspective of the CEO. He is just one. There is the one part of the coin only. You know that thing about the by the CEO, not rather than the other part of the coin. You know whether they require or not this kind of a product in the market, or I think that was lacking by the CEO. They only think their self only. They did not think about the target group, whether they actually need the nano or not. They just see the scenario of that vehicle, that two-wheeler vehicle, and he thought in his mind, and then he developed that product rather than to go through that target audience and all those things to take feedback from them, whether they need or not.
Oh, yes, that was one big reason, because when we talk about the mentality of, I mean, of course, the Indian market, people why buying that car is that they are very status conscious. And this car was branded as a poor man's car, the cheapest car, right? So people, I mean, of course, it didn't leave the right psychological impact. People were looking for advanced feature. People were looking, I mean, of course, they wanted to buy a car so that it levels up the status symbol. But that was not something which was fulfilled because of this. So the proper marketing, the proper branding was not taken up. Yes, Mr. Adnan. Yes.
Okay, Professor, according to me, there is another reason. For me, it's a good car. Good car. Why a good car? Because it's a familiar car and cheapest.
Yes.
But the problem is the market here now with the globalization. There is a concurrence, great concurrence between brands. Toyota, Mahindra, the Indian brand, Hyundai, Kia, and the other European and German brands. Perhaps, for example, if this car, it's the first time that I heard about this car, and we have many brands here, many Indian brands here in Tunisia, Mahindra. So perhaps the Tata company don't find another market other than the Indian market to sell this product, because there is many economic and political influence that governate the markets around the world. For me, it's a good product.
Yes, it was indeed a good product, and it was actually marketed for the people in India. And the only reason why it couldn't succeed, because Indian people couldn't, adjust that psychology that, okay, I'm buying the cheapest car. That didn't go well with this psychology. And of course, human psychology works behind. And of course, there are other reasons which actually add. Now from here, let's move on talking about the another product that we have, that's Google Lens. Now, if we talk about that, even, I mean, of course, I'll be talking about all these interesting factors about this Google Lens, because it was one of the advanced feature thing. It worked using the voice command. I mean, you don't have to do anything. You just would say, take a photo, and it would make a call, and it would read a message, and it would show. You don't have to tap buttons, touch the screen, touch the hardware. You could do, I mean, of course, all sort of reading messages, navigations, mails through this Google Glass only. It could fetch you all the data that you require. But still, as a product, it did not leave a mark in the market. Did you see actually anybody using this particular product?
No.
Oh, yes. Ms. Mamta
Yes,
has.
in Nepal. Yeah, Nepal.
Yes, in Nepal.
Yeah.
And what was the people's response?
But it's a very rare case. I saw it's city ride basically for the city ride perspective. I saw not in the long-term trip, long-term travel, but it's city ride. Most of the person like to use, but,
Okay. But as a product, I don't think it left the right impact. It did not succeed in terms of sales again. What could be the possible reasons?
Yeah.
Because it was one of the advanced devices.
Maybe the people looks that those glasses are very sophisticated and can do like a espionage, because they have a camera, they can do pictures, and the people was afraid to use that to meet people with those kind of glasses. Maybe they feeling that something is not secure for the other people. Yeah.
Oh,
who are
yes,
wearing these glasses.
Yes, that was one of the reasons, because it had that video feature, and I mean, the other person would never know whether I'm just looking at somebody casually or I'm recording that person. Yes, that was one of the major reasons. And what other reasons can possibly, work behind? Yes, Mr. Edmund.
Perhaps for me, yeah, I don't know the problems. I know that Google have a great R&D department. For me, perhaps the price of this glass is not affordable to customer.
But it was something which actually could easily replace a cell phone entirely. You wouldn't have to do anything with the cell phone. You wouldn't have to hold any device handy, and it'll just work for you. So price, I don't think, can be a bar here. People are just running after advanced features.
iPhone is used not as a phone to telephone or the service. It's used even here in Tunisia to show that I have an iPhone, that I have
exactly. And that's what exactly we talked about the car, that people buy it for advanced features. And here, Google Lenses brought you the most advanced feature, but still it was a market failure. So I don't think price can be a bar, because one of the car which was cheapest, people did not want to buy that because they wanted an advanced featured product. And now when we have an advanced featured product, people didn't buy it either. And of course, as Adnan, you said, it has the most advanced features. I mean, the Google, it has the best advanced R&D department. Yes, Sebastian. Hi.
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 Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Dr. Kirti.
Good morning.
I was reading the case study of the car, the Tata Nano, and I was very surprised because in this case and in the as well as in the Google Glass case, I think the problem was not the product. I think because in both cases they have a good product. I mean, the features of the product are excellent, the quality, the processes that they use to make them. But I think in both cases, the problem is the marketing, especially the promotion of the product. Because as I was reading in the first case, in the Tata Nano, they promoted the car as the cheapest car in the world. But people turn this around, and now it's the car of the poor people.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
And nobody wants to have the poor people's car. I mean,
yes.
nobody wants to be, even if you're poor, nobody wants to be recognized as poor.
Yes.
So it has to do with the feeling of the people. And I think this was turned around. And in the end, they tried to make some changes. And in this case, and the other problem with the car, which is more logistic problem, is that they didn't have the network sell the product, because as they offer the cheapest car in the world, the logic, the step to make is to have a very good distribution network around the country, you know, for all the people who don't have the enough resources, you know, but they didn't have that. And when they tried to turn the things around, they invested a lot in the distribution chain, and they changed some specs of the car. And now they, you know, promoted the product as a joyful product, you know, like people should have this. But now it's not the cheapest car in the world, because the strategy that they have, which is which we can categorize this in Michael Porter's like strategy in being the leadership, or being the leader in cost, the cost leader, now is altered because they are not doing things in the process of making the car and promoting it, which has the low cost. No, they are adding some specs, stickers, rims to the car, and this is increasing the price. So there was this problem. And in the case of the Google Glass, I think that the case is almost the same. You know, the promotion, how they sell it, and I think that is the reason why it didn't connect with people in the beginning. Not because they have a bad product, but because they didn't understand very well the market, and they didn't did a very good promotion of it. I don't know, what are your thoughts about it?
Oh, yes, definitely, Sebastian. I would definitely go with it. That was the exact problem. It was not marketed well. Adnan, yeah, you have raised your hand.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Professor. For me also, perhaps the main reason, some of the main reason is the concurrence of the other technology. For example, the virtual reality glasses in the market. There is other products in concurrence with this Google Glass, such as the virtual reality glasses. Yes, that concurrences these products. That's why these products stays in the step of research and development, just research and development.
Yes, of course. And that's somewhere the loopholes been into the research and development department, because despite having all the essential qualities one product need to have, the right companies, the big giants of the market, they marketed it well, and something went wrong, drastically wrong, that they had to actually take it back. So yes, so why did it happen? Now, whatsoever happens, we then question why. Now, for this why question, there are, of course, in the earlier sessions, you have seen this ladder of inference. So there is, of course, each step is depicted using a rung, and when you keep climbing up each rung, you get to know actually one step when you actually understand what is the problem that's underlying that particular issue. So you work on the available data, with that data, you add on to your assumptions, you interpret that, you can and come to a conclusion and start believing. So the data was, people do not have the right the capacity, or maybe they don't have that handy cars. So it was assumed that they require one, and if they get a cost-efficient car, they would get one. So it was interpreted that way, and they reached to a conclusion, okay, let's produce the cheapest car, and people would buy that. And that became a belief, but that was a major failure. And same happened with the Google Glass, because certain observations were made. Based on those observations, people assumed something, they interpreted their own idea, came to a conclusion, and that conclusion became their right belief. Right. So when in terms of Google Glass, it had to target to specific people. like people in army who don't have their hands very, very free. So, or the people which work on the machines, they cannot, use their hands very often to take out a device and handle it. So a product which wouldn't want them to touch that, they would simply wear that and give voice command and they get their task done, would be very, very handy for them. But it was not marketed well for that, because data and observations, they just resulted in the assumptions. And assumptions only, they made people interpret what they wanted to. So there was, a lack of lots of market research that couldn't work, and which was actually the result of the failure of these products. So now what I'm doing.
Professor.
Yes, definitely.
This ladder of inference, it's used in which case? The utility of this ladder.
Sorry, let me get back to the earlier slide. Yes, sir.
The utility. Why we use this ladder? What's the signification of this ladder?
I'm really sorry. Can you please repeat the question?
So,
your voice is cracking.
Dr. Kirti is asking to ask. He's trying to ask why use this ladder. Like, what is
why? Why we use this ladder of inference?
Okay, so when we want any of the product to succeed, this is basically how research and development happen. How do we do? We actually first see the available data or observations which tell us that this is the demand. Okay, I observed that when I just shared that anecdote with Mr. Ratan Tata, he saw that, okay, people are driving on that bike in a very rainy season. People on one bike, they're all drenched. So we saw this. This was the basic observation that we had. And then looking at that, he assumed that, okay, maybe people are not able to buy a costly car. So assumed, okay, if we provide them with a very cheap car, they would definitely switch to a four-wheeler, which would be very, very convenient. And they interpreted it. So every rung of that ladder is one step ahead of the thought process, which actually develops our beliefs. So with the available data, available assumptions, and how we interpret those assumptions, we reach to a conclusion. Ratan Tata interpreted it, okay, maybe people don't have money, that's why they are not buying that. He couldn't relate to the other idea that people are actually buying car as a status symbol.
Okay. Then,
yes.
Professor, this ladder of inference help us to make a decision, a funded decision.
Of course. So, stepwise process, when we take every single little step, we reach to the right conclusion. Okay, let me share this actually one small incident with you all. We would connect in the breakout room. I'm just sending you all to 2 different rooms, and you would be sharing 2 caselets. And with that, we would again discuss this ladder of inference, and we would then try to understand how it works and what utility it has for us. So let's break you out to 2 different rooms. And I'm sorry. And Divya, could you please help me? Are you creating the breakout rooms?
Okay, I'll.
Sure, thank you.
10 minutes, good enough?
Or yes. 10 minutes would be enough.
Okay.
Yes. So for everybody, yes.
I think we can 6-7 minutes is also enough, Dr. Kirti.
All right, let's keep it 7 then. So we are sending you to the different rooms.
Sorry, Doctor, what should we discuss?
Yes. We are sharing 2 screens. So you would have 2 caselets there. Okay. One would be for Kapil, and the second one would be for Rahul. And we share these caselets. Let's discuss what you think about that. Once we would be back, we would be actually sharing our opinions together. So just understand these caselets, and what do you think about these 2 scenarios? You need to talk about that. So you might go to your rooms. Oh, thank you. Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen again.
Hmm.
So yeah, half of us discussed about the situation faced by Rahul, and the remaining half faced the situation by Kapil. Okay, so now what's your take on that? What has happened? What should be done? Was the decisions taken by these two individuals correct?
Hmm.
What's your take on these?
Professor,
Sir, yes.
as Sebastian asked for if the other, if there is Raul and the other, which one?
Kapil. Kapil.
Kapil, it's a Kapil.
Kapil, yes, working in the team, in the development team of Raul.
Yes.
Perhaps in this case, all the situation, we can interpret the situation with another vision. Perhaps in this situation, Raul is making a wrong choice.
Why? Why so?
First of all, when reading the situation, all the team are divided by tasks.
Sorry? Hello.
All,
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Adnan. Yes.
Yes. When I read the scenario, I understand that the team of Raul is divided by tasks, by works.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps Raul, as a project manager, should understand that the developer of his team, perhaps they are divided. There is many work. Perhaps they should find the reason and not avoid a member of his team.
Okay. Is it, Adnan, I would just like to repeat because I couldn't get it exactly. Is it that they don't understand what they're going through? Is it what you would mean to say?
For me, what Raul did.
Yes.
With with the software engineer.
Right.
It's not correct. Why?
Okay. That's your opinion.
Because first of all, he works in his team.
Okay. Yeah.
And according to the scenario, all the members of the team are divided by tasks.
Right.
They should find an excuse for him to for this late.
Yes, of course, rightly. Andrea, yes.
Yes. If we take into consideration the ladder of inference that we just saw in the last presentation, I think Raul made a decision based on the data available that he had.
Yes.
And in this case, Kapil didn't want to share the reasons why he wouldn't show up to the meeting, because it was a personal reason, and he maybe he didn't feel comfortable sharing about this personal reason, no? But it doesn't mean that Rahul has to understand and maybe telepathically know what is happening now. So he just based on the data, he assumes and interprets and concludes that Kapil maybe is being not professional because it was a meeting of consulting of a specific topic in a company. So I think the decision he made, it was good based on the data available.
Oh yes, Ms. Mamta.
Yeah, I do agree with the Andrea. That means there is some fixed time. They both are agreed to have a meeting at 10:30, but the meeting was not going to be held due to the absence of due to the unavailability of the Kapil. But Rahul did not know why Kapil did not attend. If the Kapil informed him on time, that I could, though the time was fixed, but before the time, if Kapil could able to inform the Rahul that due to this reason, I will not be able to attend the meeting. So here is the lack of the communication between Rahul and then Kapil. If the Kapil communicate very well, the decision taken by the Rahul might be the different, you know. The lack of the communication, proper communication between them in this team is showing now here. So one of the
Yes.
That's the reason.
Of course, it is not. Let's look at the complete scenario. Now, this exactly is what has happened. Rahul and Kapil had a meeting. Now, of course, half of you know that Kapil had very extreme urgency at home. His mother was not well, she was bedridden, and he has to actually complete all sorts of the family responsibilities. And he was so stuck that he couldn't inform on time. But as soon as he got time, he did what he could have done in that situation. And at the same time, Rahul, because he was very, very prepared for a meeting with Kapil. He had actually major responsibilities because he's leading a team of developers. So, of course, because of workload, because of the new targets, he's thinking from a professional front. He don't know what Kapil on a personal front is going through. And he has made a decision and he declines the meeting. So this is the complete scenario. Now, from here, let's talk about the ladder of inference again, because this is what we do. So what do we do when we are climbing down the ladder, when we are actually looking back into the decisions that we have already taken up? We have to recognize what biases we have. So we have to be mindful of our decisions before drawing conclusion. Understand what decisions you take. Take a step back and reflect. What might be the possible reasons? Am I being too quick to decide on something? Was Rahul too quick to deny Kapil for the meeting? Right. So we have to recognize our bias. So if we think about the scenario from Rahul's perspective, Kapil was very unprofessional. Though we know the fact that he did not intend to, but still, Rahul thought, okay, Kapil is very unprofessional. He didn't show up for the meeting for the right time. So because he drew conclusion based on the limited data that he had, he just made interpretations. He interpreted it as the lack of professionalism, and he drew conclusion and he denied for the meeting. So we need to recognize our biases, climb down the ladder again, be very, very rational, argumentative, seek clarity. What was the reasons? What are the possible reasons behind that particular situation, which are actually working, to take certain steps? Test your assumptions. So one has to question themselves. So before they take decisions, Rahul should have questioned himself. What might have happened? Should I make a call to Kapil and inquire? Should I try to find out what are the possible reasons that he declined for the meeting? He didn't show up for the meeting and has given another time. So when we climb down the ladder and seek out what are the contrary data, so of course, whatever data are available for me are not the complete set which is required to take certain decisions. So what Rahul should have done is he could have sought the contrary data, questions his assumptions, understand what biases he have, and that would actually help him reach to the right decision. So it's like observing the situation. So this is what ladder of inference is. So every rung is one step which you have to very, very cautiously, very, very clearly take, and then you can definitely move on. Now, any questions based on what we have? Sir, yes, Ajnan. Yes.
Climbing down the ladder. This step should be made by by Rahul or the other.
Of course, since Rahul has taken up a decision, he declined for the meeting with Kapil. So he actually reached to a conclusion. So he had to climb down the ladder. Kapil would be the person who would be realizing it later.
Professor, Rahul should climb down the ladder.
Yes, Yes, to understand, because he was the one who declined the meeting.
Okay.
He was the one who has taken the final decision. Kapil would be, of course, because this has happened, Kapil would say, okay, I was denied with the meeting. So that would come a little later. So he again, when he started forming his own assumptions, his own conclusions towards Rahul's, denying him to meet, he would again take up some assumptions, build up his own ideas about the situation. He also have to climb down and understand what Rahul should have thought. Maybe because he was waiting, maybe he freed that slot to meet Kapil. He has all that pressure of completing, the assignments within the deadline. So he would again be understanding the other perspective, because Rahul also is going through a lot of pressure. So it's like both parties have their own situations and they both are taking decisions individually. So when both the parties would climb up the ladder and climb down, they would understand what are the actual situations. It's not just my part that I have to keep looking at, it's also the other party. So when we actually, again, back to the car and the Google Lens examples, it's not that what product I have launched, how would market receive that product, which is also important. So I don't have to look at a situation from individual's perspective. I also have to look at the same situation from the perspective of the other party, be it a buyer, be it a client, be it a colleague, whichever it is. So you have to actually collect the data, which might be quite contrary, and then take steps very, very cautiously, understanding, questioning, analyzing, forming assumptions very, very carefully, recognizing what biases individuals have, and then reach to the final conclusion. So that is the right way of actually reaching to a conclusion. So the lack of research and development that we were talking about, it happened because both the brands didn't read the market. They assume on the basis of the available data. They did not try seeking the contrary data. So that is something that went wrong. I guess now I've made my point clear. Yes.
Professor, I understand you, but in this slide, when I read, recognize your bias, Rahul should, what does mean recognize your bias? Being mindful, taking this step back. I don't understand.
Yes. If you are Rahul,
it's very important. Yes, this
yes.
slide.
If you are Rahul, and you have arranged for a meeting in the morning, 10:30, and after 10:30, the Kapil, he informed you that he would not be available without citing the proper reason. You would actually be very, very aggressive. Okay, why didn't he show up? He's quite unprofessional. No, I cannot work with a person who is very unprofessional in his approach. He didn't show up at the right time for the meeting. We decide the time. Both of us decided the time. Okay, so I am being very biased without thinking what Kapil is going through. I formed this bias in my mind. Okay, he's not a professional person. He's quite unprofessional. So before declining the meeting, before I have to be mindful, give a second thought. What might have happened? Has Kapil been caught through some situation which is tough to handle? So if I'm recognizing that bias, I'm being mindful before declining for the meeting, I go up, connect with Kapil, find out, okay, what happened? Was there any emergency that has happened? Why are you denying? So you seek contrary data.
Definitely, it's a communication problem.
Oh, yes, definitely, it's a communication problem.
That's the way I mentioned that it's communication problem. Yeah,
it's of course communication problem. It's recognizing, it's because you actually, you have to be mindful of each and every step that you take. So you have to recognize, you have to question, you have to research properly. So all these steps you have to very, very cautiously take. So we actually quickly take decisions. Yes. Yes.
So we can relate this scenario, whatever scenario you just mentioned here. We can relate this to the nano car also. Once the Tata that Ratan, whatever you mentioned the name,
Ratan Tata,
he concluded on in his mind that okay, due to this reason we should produce this kind of product rather than to go through the different data, different the interpretation. Just he see the one scene and just conclude in his mind rather than to go through the various exploration, rather than do the market research. So we can relate like this, no? See, directly comes under the conclusion like Rahul. Rahul just conclude himself. The similarly, the Ratan also concluded himself by seeing the one scenario, Am I right? We can relate like this. No?
Of course. It's very, very right, Ms. Mamta, because you have to see everything. You have to understand and analyze every single step. So that is what you have to do.
Yeah.
So if we don't have question, Divya, with your permission, can we break for a break? So that we, because we would then be talking about the next part.
Yeah, let's have 5 minutes, 10 minutes break.
Yeah, because it's almost time. So let's break for and we'll resume at 2:55. I mean, after 10 minutes. So, and then we start talking.
We take a break, Professor.
Oh yes, I'm right here.
Okay.
Break. Let's
Break 10
connect
minutes.
after 10 minutes. 10
Okay,
minutes.
thank you. Okay, now.
10
Bye-bye.
minutes break time. Yeah, bye. Hi, Victor.
Hi, Kirti. Welcome back,
Hi.
everyone.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for your teacher.
I like this energy, Victor. Great.
And I
Sorry?
really like his punctuality. He's
Sorry?
on time.
He's
very
on
much
time. He's
on time.
energetic.
Yes. Alright.
Everyone else, are we back?
It's time to resume our session. Are we all back? Okay, Mr. Than is here. Yes, I see you, Mamta. Hi. Adnan, hello. I guess most of us are here. I'd really like to see you all on camera. Oh, wonderful. Great. So, okay, let's resume it. So far, we did talk about the ladder of inference and how this actually helps us take certain decisions. And an important aspect of that was that we have to question. Now, what stops us? What stops us before we question? Why we need to step back and then judge our assumptions? And of course, when we actually had this ladder, so we have to step back, recognizing biases, climbing down the ladder again, then questioning assumptions and conclusions. So why don't we question at the very beginning, very onset? What stops us from, at the very initial level, at the very initial stage, to question? Yes. What's your ideas about that?
One of the things after you crash, you come with some, let's say, if you are running, if you crash, you'll be injured. So you stop.
You stop. And if you don't question, if you don't jump that hurdle, you would anyways stop, because that would result in a wrong decision or probably the market failure. We should definitely question and jump and stop and keep running. Why would you stop? Why don't we question? What stops us? What is something that is holding us back from questioning?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Can you
Yes,
repeat the
Adnan.
question? Because I don't hear the question.
Okay,
Repeat
my
the
question was now when we actually are taking certain decisions, before reaching that conclusion, why don't we question in advance? Before that we have reached to that conclusion, before we have formed a belief, why don't we question? What stops us from questioning? What stops us from questioning? Why don't we question? Why don't we ask questions before taking the decision?
As Mamat says, lack of communication.
Lack of Yes, lack of communication. But even if I am Rahul and I'm declining Kapil to meet, why don't I question myself back and then reach to a decision before declining him for the meeting? What stopped Rahul to question Kapil? Okay, what has happened? Why aren't you on time and other stuff? What was going on in the brain, of the mind of Rahul?
Dr. Kirti?
Yes,
Sorry,
Andrea?
you're talking about crash
Yes.
or question? It's
Question.
crash.
Question.
I think
What stops us?
I think it
Yes.
has to
Okay.
I think it has to do a lot with the biases you just said. On day one, we learn about the types of biases: confirmation biases, simplicity biases, familiarity biases, and
Yes.
maybe in Rahul's experience, as he works with a team and Kapil is part of the team, maybe he just had an experience, past experience of him also being late or not being in the meeting. So that might have led him to a confirmation bias, no? Because he has the objective fact, and now it confirms its belief of him that he had formed in his mind, that he sometimes tends to, or many times tends to, just cancel meetings on the last time, no? So that can be another one. And also can be a recency bias, that he just maybe recently he also did not attend to a, so that that is something that is very challenging for a human, us as humans, because psychologically we structure our thought systems based on our experience. So we have the challenge to just like break that and start all over again, so that we make the right decisions. I think that's very challenging.
So we have lots of assumptions and which we need to break before we start questioning. Yes, very rightly said, Andrea. And any other observations, any other reasons why? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, one of the most important factor already Andrea shared with us, that's it's a bad experience with Kapil. That he's not a professional, he's not serious about his work, and all those the past experience. Besides this, I think there is one more thing for particular in this case for the Rahul is the time frame. You know that there is a work pressure, there is a certain target, there is a time boundary to develop certain kind of software. So due to the work pressure, due to the time frame, he wants to switch to another to develop more and more rather than to go with him. So sometimes this time frame also pressurize you not to questions to yourself more and more, just jump into the other and then take it to another action.
Exactly. Everybody is so occupied these days. Yes, that's one of the main reasons. And what are the possible reasons we might be having? Yes. Okay, let's not stop here for long. Yes. So this was the question. Yes. So, of course, this my question. This is the way it's always been. That's one of the reasons which Andrea talked about. This was a normal behavior of Kapil. He was regularly late. So why do I have to ask question today? Right. So maybe Kapil today is into a situation and we didn't want to probe that because he was regularly late. Or I mean, as Mamta has put it, who has the time, we need to get things done. And apart from that, we being a little careless, we at a position wherein we would not want to be seen as insubordinate or, of course, challenging status quo. That's one of the prominent reasons. We wouldn't question, we would just stop and we would take decisions in a hurry. So maybe because of all these reasons, our decisions are somewhere affected and we are not able to take the right decisions. So these are all the reasons. Moving on from it. So understanding issues around the goal. So the idea about all these discussion was whenever we have to reach to a goal, if we really want to actually reach the final destination, it's very important that we understand what are the circumstances around, what are the possible issues around. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. So understanding issues around the goal. So whatsoever is our final goal, to understand it, we have to take certain procedures. We have to break it into small fragments, define, identify, explore, see what impact it has, and then think about the solutions or maybe the alternative solutions. So this is exactly what we would be talking about. And of course, we are going to talk about every single pointer here. So let's move on, discuss it further. So the first thing that we have is break it. So whenever we have a goal, so here it's also a part of your handbook. So what we have here is, now this exactly is certain goal post. What do you have to do is on your vision storyboard, you have to break it into several segments. We all know where we are right now. Now, who are we and where we are right now, and what exactly is the future vision for us? So reach to that future vision. What do we have to do is we have to break it into smaller goals, right? So maybe my vision for my future is after 10 years, I would be there. So I'll break it into a fragment of 2 + 2 + 2 + 2. So after 2 years, I would be at goalpost 2. After another 2 years or 4 years, I'll be at goalpost 3. Then I'll be at goalpost 4. So we actually fragment it in different smaller goals. So 2 minutes, is there a part of your participant handbook as well? Write down, just mention very quickly what your individual goal post would be. You can start thinking about who you are and where you are right now. What is your future vision? And then break it into different goal posts. So 2 minutes for you. I'll then be back with another question. So very quick idea about what your goal post are, make a note of it, and then we'll move further. Very quick, 2 minutes.
Professor,
Yes.
the questions, what we'll do with this?
The question is, here on the first block, you have to write who you are and where you are right now. On the last point number 6, block number 6, you have to write down what are your future vision, where you want to reach. In between, you have to set up different goal posts. So what you're doing is you are actually breaking down your final vision into different posts, right? The way we actually run marathon, we have certain rest points. Okay, I have achieved this target. Now I have to work on to reach another target. So you have to actually mention certain goal posts to reach to your final vision. Okay, so by the time when you retire from your work, this is your future vision. You would be retiring from so-and-so position. What are the goal posts? What are the milestones that you would like to see for yourself? So that is what you have to enlist. Very quick activity, another, I guess, 1.5 minutes, and then we would take a step further. Okay, I assume we have done it. Now let's take up the next step. At every goal post, what would stop you? Every goal post, what would stop you? So you know where you are, and when you have set up goals for yourself, you also need to understand when I would reach, or in my attempt to reach goal post 2, what is going to stop me? What would be the biggest hurdle? At goal post 3, what would be the biggest hurdle? So that is something that we need to identify. So another 2 minutes, and then we're going to have a discussion on this. All right, I assume that we are done with it. Have we? Give me a thumbs up if we are done. Have we identified a goal post, and also what are the barriers for us? Give me a thumbs up if we have.
Professor.
Yes, Mr. Edmund.
This grid each one can choose here is who and where I am now. Each one choose a goal and
that's your current position. If you're talking about your career goals, if you're talking about career goals, means where exactly are you right now as a professional? If I'm talking about my future vision as a professional, what achievement what have I achieved? So if I talk about myself, I currently am a professor at certain university. I'm handling these many, responsibilities. And after 10 years, if I see my future vision, I would be doing so and so activity. That's my career goal for myself. And in that attempt, like I'll be taking certain sort of trainings, being a trainer. So I am like handling this position now. I need to reach here. So in that, this is the difference. I need to take certain steps. I need to climb that ladder up. So these ghosts are certain ladders. And at every step that I take forward, what are the challenges that I might face? So have we identified those challenges? What stop me when I am reaching certain goalpost? What's your idea? What sort of goalpost have you chosen for yourself?
I am an IT engineer here in the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology. My goal is to fund my startup in the.
Yes. That's your final goal.
The final goal, yes.
So would that be the very next step from where you are now? The very next step that you take would be your final goal? Is that the case?
No,
so you
the
have
goal
to reach, yeah.
Your post is
to take
make,
smaller.
yes, to identify the technology that I will use and to make proof of concept of the products.
Exactly. And every goal post, you must be having certain challenges. Yes. Okay, I need to reach this step and I need to overcome so and so challenge. So are we able to identify that? What stop you? What challenge you have?
What stopped me? The lack of time. First of all, lack of time.
Lack of time, yes, that's one of the prime reason. And what else? And every goal post comes up with certain set of challenges, of course. You require certain exposures, you require certain, aids from maybe government, from maybe private institutions. You want people's support, right? So there are certain, hurdles that we have to overcome. So have we identified all these hurdles?
The question.
Have we identified all these challenges that we might be facing in that?
Yes.
To the next step.
Yes. Lack of money also.
Yes.
Financing.
So when lack of money is one of the challenge that I might be having, can I arrange for funds? Is the next step that I need to take up?
Please,
if lack of money is one of the challenge, should I attempt to arrange funds?
Yes.
Yes. So when we know what stop us, we actually act to remove that hurdle, remove that challenge, so that the next step that we take is very successful.
Yes.
Are you getting my point? So when we actually have to, live the final vision, it's very important to identify what stops us. When we break it into certain parts, when we break it into certain smaller subsections, we actually identify what problems we might be facing. And when we identify the problem areas, we keep solving those problems. And when we keep solving those problems, the final destination, the journey, and the reaching towards that final destination becomes very smooth. Right. Yes. So that is why the first thing that we have to do is break it into separate parts. So if we have a situations, the idea is that break that situation into separate parts. So when we break it, for breaking after every situation, understand what is stopping us, how we can actually solve that. And when we have identified all these subsections, sub-issues, bingo, we have reached where we wanted to.
Yes.
I guess I've made this point clear. Shall we move on? Yes? Okay,
okay.
great. Thank you. So, yeah. Now, since we have actually broken it into different fragments, now is the time that we define. Okay, now we define what sub-issues we have. Now, here is a situation, and I really want you all to carefully understand this. I would read it loud for you all. It is, give me a moment. Your organization manufactures tools for mechanics and auto services companies. Now you have experienced rising cost. 1 minute. Okay. You have experienced rising cost in their plant in Bulgaria and are wondering if you should close the plant and move the production to one of your other facilities. Okay. So the situation is that your organization is manufacturing tools for mechanics and auto service companies. Okay. Now, here in Bulgaria, you are experiencing rising cost. And you are thinking about that you close this current plant and you move the production to one of your other facilities. Okay. So this is the problem statement that we have. And now what next we need to do is, what are the key? Oh my God, Adnan is having a headache probably. Are the questions very challenging?
I am concentrating in the scenario.
That's very, very wonderful saying, Adnan. I really appreciate that you're very carefully participating. Thank you. So anyway, so let's draw an issue tree here. So I would first talk about what is issue tree. Issue tree is when you take up a problem, break that problem into sub-issues. You keep breaking that into sub-issues. So it goes like vertical trees, wherein you identify the first layer of the sub-issues. And with that first layer of sub-issues, you take a step forward. You then identify the second layer of the sub-issues, then the third layer of the sub-issues, till the time you reach to the smallest issues that you would be facing. Right. So when maybe we taken those examples of nano car or maybe the Google glasses. So what went wrong? What went wrong? Now, what went wrong was that the smaller issues were not handled carefully. So if we have this issue tree prepared, if we have all the issues identified, addressed, taken care of, there is very, very less chances of failures. Right. So let's take this activity and then let's talk about it further. So what are the key facts here? Can we identify the key facts involved in this situation?
Yes, the rising costs. Rising costs.
Rising costs is the key fact. Yes. So that one of the major problem that we are facing as of now, that okay, the costs are rising and we have to do something about the cost. Okay. Yes. So what exactly is I'm sorry. What exactly is the first layer of this thing? Have we defined the primary issue? Would shifting it to one of the other facilities work? Is that the primary issue? Cost are rising, of course, understood, but the step that we have to take up, was it the correct one? Okay, let's leave it for a while. Yeah. Yes, ma'am, Miss Ma'am.
Yeah, that means that manufacturing organization is now in Bulgaria or any other places.
Yes. So that's the primary issue. Let's keep manufacturing in Bulgaria or shift to some other place wherein we can address this cost rise in a powerful way. So what next we can do is
maybe identify the new place.
Identify a new place.
The new facility.
Yes. So when we start identifying the place, Now, the problem area here is the layer one that we have to think about is, should we close the plant and move the production to one of your other facilities? Is that the right idea? If costs are rising at one place, moving that plant, closing plant and moving to another place, is that the right solution that one can take when we are thinking about business, when we have to think about revenues, expenses, supply chain demand, customers, competitors, prices, products, because we have all these factors associated, right? That's what
Yes.
business is all about. Now, should we really, take this step that, okay, let's close this plant and move to some other facility? What are the challenges that we might encounter here?
Yeah, this can be the one option that we can close the plant and move the production to one of our other facilities, which might relate to the current demand of your society. So I think we should move. We should move our production to other facilities. This can be one option.
Okay, when costs are rising, how would moving that plant from one place to other place help in, containing or curbing the cost?
I think one-time cost will be increased, but after the getting the raw materials and other accessories might be available there after after fixing all those things, after shifting. So one-time cost will be raised high, but after fixing those facilities to the existing one, it may work. I think the availability of the raw materials nearby there and other accessories.
So you said that raw material is one factor that would
raw
actually,
material is one
help.
factor
Yeah.
with them.
And other than that, what other factors we can address?
Transportation.
Sorry?
Transportation of raw materials, even transportation of the production.
Of course, transportation of the raw material would be one area. And are there any other areas that we have to think about, consider? We have all these examples. What are the probes that we have? We have to think about product quality. We have to think about the prices, promotions,
Taxes
customers and competitors. Sorry?
Taxes in the new location.
Taxes, of course. Oh, yeah. Taxes is one of the factors that we have to pay attention to. Yeah. And what are the areas that we have to think about?
In general, low cost of productions.
Low cost of production. How would that happen?
Yeah.
How would we reach the low cost of production?
So if you are going to close the existing plant and it's moved to the another facilities, so there is also reduction of the HR, the human resources, though it also reduces your cost,
Yes, sure.
Okay, human resources would be reduced. Okay, that would again be one reason. And
we can merge the many technology which can also reduce the cost.
We can use technology which would help us reduce the cost. Okay. And what other things which we can think about? So that's the layer one that we have when we start analyzing a problem. That's the layer one that we can actually probe. Let's move on to the next part. I'm sorry. Now, the second layer that we have. Will the company better financially if we close the plant? Could we produce the tools anywhere? Because we are thinking about shifting that plant to other area, but can produce the similar tools anywhere else? And what about the brand value? Because of course, brand value matters a lot. So what would happen to that? Have we thought about all these questions? So that's the identifying of sub-issues related. So the first layer was, okay, let's close the plant and let's think about the maintenance or maybe the human resource reduction. But what are the inherent ideas when we take those steps? When we think about, will the companies be financially better if we close the plant? So what other stuff that we have to think about? The government incentives involved, the revenues which are generated, expenses differentiate, we actually distribute expenses to multiple things. And then we have to also think about the plant operating expenses. So have you thought about all these factors before moving to the other area? Have you taken all these things into consideration? Field cost, variable cost, cost of closing the plant, severance cost. We are thinking about reducing human resources, but we have to pay them as well. And when we are actually reducing human resources, wouldn't it affect the manufacturing cost? If you're replacing it with technology, we would have to buy technology. Again, we'll have to spend. So what are the layer third of these sub-issues? What's your opinion?
Professor, can you repeat the question?
My question again is, what are the sub-issues? What all areas that now, when we are thinking about moving this plant to somewhere else, and we're thinking about that we would be able to reduce the cost, what factors we have to check? Because when we shift it to some other place, we would again have to think about the cost. Because when we move something to the other plant, again, it would require cost. We would have to lose lots of money and we would have to invest lots of money. So what all factors, what all issues we have to think about? When we are taking, you being the company owner itself, what all areas would you think about? So if you have to produce nano, or maybe the Google lenses, but all sub-issues you would consider. So if you have this plan, this is yours, what all sub-issues, what is the third layer of sub-issues that you would consider before taking that decision to shift it to some other place?
Maybe the legislation of that country.
Of course, legislation of that country, because you do get government incentives, yes. And
the price of the new produce of tools.
The cost of the new
We should
products.
compare it with a finance, if it is better than closing the factory, the plant.
okay, yes, price, government involvement, or maybe incentives.
I think also reduce the human resource.
Yeah, human resources we have talked about, but when we reduce human resources, have we really thought about the other areas? Because we have to bear severance cost as well.
The average salary in
Yes. So average salary in this specific region wherein you are shifting.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, of course, that's one of the area. And what else? What other stuff? Do we really have to think about the tools that we are producing?
The quality of the tools.
Yes.
Are they going to be the same?
Yeah, that's one of the areas. And what else? Yes, Mr. Khan.
Yes, local labor costs we have to consider. When we move to other place, how about the local scalable costs?
So local
we have to consider.
Scalable cost. Yes, okay. And what are the factors that we have to identify?
Skilled, SKI.
I failed to go back to this. I'm really sorry.
Perception of the clients.
Yeah, perception of the client.
Or
Yes.
consumer.
And what about the brand? Would it suffer? Would there be any negative impact on the brand? Or because we are closing down one plant and we are moving it to some other locality? What about the transportation that's involved? What have we thought about? How much bad press is going to happen? And how would we deal with all these scenarios?
Mm-hmm. How
Also
we
the
how will the plant
distribution channels.
approach?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
The distribution channels as well.
Yes, we have to think about the distribution channel. And that would again require a cost.
So the main thing is here, we just closing the plant due to the high cost. And now, if you all go through this is the reason of the increasing the cost again, you know. This is the big issue. Now you're closing the plant due to the high cost. And whatever now you're finding the issue, these are the, you know, the things which, you know, the initiate or the just due to this, again, the cost will increase after shifting the plant to another existing one, you know.
Exactly.
So again, we are on the same pace.
And if it increases the cost, what is the whole
There's no
idea
meaning
about
to shift
shifting
your,
this
no meaning
plant?
to close your plant. If
Yes.
still it's increasing your cost, that is, there's no meaning of
There's
shifting
no
your plant.
meaning of shifting your plant. So why would we do it at all? So was that initially the right decision?
No.
No.
After getting all these issues and after analyzing all these, you know, the layers, we are not in that situation that you're going to reduce the cost. It's still in the same pace. It's still increasing the cost. I don't know. So it's a good decision. It's a good conclusion to shift the plant or just to close.
To reach to that decision, what do we have to do?
I think we should rethink on that.
Now we need to explore. Now we need to explore further. What all can be associated.
Again, we should go to the
areas.
down, you know, that questions yourself that why should you go the ladder, you know, the down to that.
Oh, exactly. You then again question, you then again
because, yeah.
rethink, okay, I was taking this decision up and it's not working. So we are, I mean, of course, these are the next, you know, layer that we have to think about. So
Yes.
what are the important issues that we have to adhere to? What are more important issues that we can actually maybe deal with? What are the lesser important issues that we can, okay, leave, like, okay, let's leave it. Let's not discuss these at all. So what are the important issues? Because these are the sub issues. Now this is how we draw an issue tree, which help us before we take a decision. Which help us analyze the situation.
Yeah, analyze the different alternatives. Yeah, the
different
risks
alternatives.
associated with that alternatives. That
Yes,
options.
the risk associated, the problem areas, identifications, and maybe before taking the decision, you know, knowing the hurdles, knowing the challenges. So if we are in a hurry and we just think about the uppermost layer, that okay, this seems to be one of the important issue, and let's take this act, because when we just looked at the layer one, it seems to be the right appropriate decision. Okay, let's take the decision, let's shift this plan. But again, when we probed further, we get to know the other areas which are involved. Okay, is the idea clear? Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, great. Now, again, when we take a step back, we encounter MECE. Now, mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. What this is exactly? Now, when we are actually analyzing certain sub-issues, when we are drawing that issue tree, it is important to understand that we are able to track every single issue or every single problem area that might be involved. We cannot leave any one area untouched. Okay, and we cannot, what we can do is we cannot make the issue appear very big because we are multiple times addressing the same issue. So when we are segregating ideas, we have to make sure that the ideas are mutually exclusive, they don't overlap, and collectively exhausting. That means we have covered up all the areas. So when we look back at these issues, we have to keep segregating it to multiple layers till the time we reach to a situation wherein we have covered all the minor issues which are collectively exhausting. We have covered all the minor issues, and these issues are not overlapping. Okay, so when we have taken up third layer like cost of closure and existing revenues, are these interconnected? If yes, these are not mutually exclusive. And when these are mutually exclusive, that means they are not overlapping. Is the idea clear? Have I made this point clear?
Sorry, can you repeat again? Sorry, please.
Okay, so when we are drawing this issue tree, we have a problem. We are drawing this issue tree, and what issue tree asks us to keep analyzing the problem till we reach the final layer. Okay, so we keep subdividing the issues. So we look at the layer 1 as the main problem area, divide it further, check the layer 2. What are the further issues involved? Check the layer 3. And we can keep segregating these layers, okay? Layer 4, layer 5, layer 6, till the time we reach to a position wherein every single issue is taken up, every single problem area is identified, and they are not overlapping each other, right? So if they are not overlapping each other, that means we are not exaggerating the issue. Okay? So we are counting one problem as one problem. We are not counting one problem at two places. Okay, but these are collectively exhausting. That means we have covered all these areas which are possible. All these problem areas are actually covered, actually taken up. Okay, so for example, government policy, does it has to do with distribution cost or the plant capacity? If yes, that means this is not mutually exclusive. Okay, that means these are overlapping. Okay, let's take up a simple example. For example, there are 4-year graduation course, and I'm segregating students on the basis of their age. So I'm segregating those in terms of age group 19 to 20, 20 to 21, 21 to 22, 22 to 23. So there are these 4 sections. Okay, so I have covered up all these 4 age groups that we have in the graduation course. These age groups are not overlapping. Somebody who is into 19 to 20 age group would not be overlapping with 20 to 21 age group, right? And we have covered up all these sub-issues. So this is what we term as mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. So when we look at a problem statement and we keep on dividing it further, the problem issues, I mean, of course, the problem areas have to be keep analyzing till the time we have taken up every single minute issue. And if we are able to reach to that every single minute issue, that means now we would be able to solve every single problem, address every single issue. So there would be very less chances of failures. Because now I have identified what problems I'm going to face.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, great. Shall we move on?
Yes, yes.
Great, thank you. So I'll not want you to draw because we're running short of time, but you can take a screenshot of this problem statement so that you can draw an issue tree further. You can just identify what are the sublayers involved in this situation wherein a florist near home wants to increase revenue and profit. So what can be done, what problem that person must be facing. So this is something which you can take a screenshot and of course, probe further. Okay. Now, also, when we are dealing with a problem, we also have to check for the impact. Okay, I'm sorry, I just missed reading the chat here. Joe says technology professional specialist and local labor cost. Yes, that's something that one has to address. Oh, nicely taken up. Okay, the next idea here is we also have to check the impact, what impact it has, because when we are taking up a decision, when we are maybe thinking about the action plan. So what are the impact in terms of quantitative business impact? So if I talk about the quantity, what all areas that I have to probe further? Any ideas? Wherein quantity would play a role. If I talk about shifting a plan, and if I think about what impact it would have, so what would be the impact on the quantity of the business?
No.
Revenue.
Revenue, of course, one
Yeah.
major areas. And
If it is revenue, of course, it is a target group, your target customer.
yes, so revenue, sales, cost, profit margins, of
Profit
course,
margin.
these of course are the quantitative business impact. At the same time, we do have qualitative business impact, because when we are dealing with a business, it's not just the quantity, we also have to deal with quality. Quality,
It's
yeah,
the
that's what
goodwill of
yes.
the organization, if you are shifting your one plant to or just a fusion of your plant to other plant. So it's also comes under your goodwill of your organization, why you are going to shift, whether the organization are going to in loss or that. So it's goodwill, it's impact on the goodwill.
Of course, that's very important. So goodwill of the company, yes. And other than that,
the
And
perception.
negative impact on the brand of the organization.
negative impact of the brand, the perception, of course, of people. Quality of the product itself, because when we are actually dealing with the raw material, quality, customer reach, we are dealing with the transportation issues. Yes, so these all would be the qualitative impact. Are these the only two factors that we have to think about when we think about the impact? Sorry, sir. Yes, Victor.
Yes, there's more penetration of your product.
Of course, penetration of the product. And these all factors would impact your business. So it's not just the problem area that we have to see, we also have to see what impact it would have. Right. And are these the two only areas? Or do we have to think about any other thing? Of course, there's one more area, emotional impact.
Yeah.
Because yes, people are attached, people are associated. You are talking about reducing human resources. Okay, so job burnouts, fear of losing job, the workplace stress, people overburdened with job responsibilities. We also would have to deal with all these emotional impact. Right, we are thinking about reducing our cost, but would that be a right decision if we start considering humans as machines without thinking about their emotions? I guess not. So we have to again think about the impact it would have in terms of quality, in terms of quantity, in terms of emotions. Yes. So do we have any questions so far?
No.
Okay, great. Let's move on. Now, the last area that we have is think about the solutions and the alternatives. We have one idea. That doesn't mean we would only follow that perception. Okay, we have recognized our biases, we have questions, our assumptions, we have climbed down that ladder of inference. So we can definitely think about what solutions we might be having. So here, what solutions we can have. If we think about the same, the problem area, the Bulgaria plant, how will you solve these problems going forward? when we have to deal with profits and sales and, you know, transportation, what further areas, what possible alternatives we might be having? What possible alternatives we might be having?
Sorry, teacher, can you repeat the question, please?
My question is, when you are thinking about the same problem, shifting the plant, and we have thought, like Ms. Mamta has said, no, this is not the right idea because it's the possible solution would actually increase the cost. So when this is not the right idea and we have to deal with the rising cost, so what are the possible solutions that we have to think about? Yes, yes, Ms. Mamta.
Since we already had one idea, that's closing of that plant or shifting that plant, so we dropped this idea. Now we are thinking of another idea which might work. I think, in my view, we just analyze all the issues, and there is a main problem is rising the cost. So we should go through the how to minimize the cost rather than to shift that plant. We should, analyze, or we should develop different alternatives to reduce the cost with existing the plant rather than to shift that plant. So now we should more analyze, we should explore the market, how we are going to reduce the cost of that plant in Bulgaria. That means we should go further. We should explore the raw materials, available raw materials from where we can take cheap and best raw materials. We should go for the technology, which can, produce the materials in very lowest cost as well as in no time, that is limited time. In the that means the time period of production is less than the others one. So we should analyze the the grassroots level, how to minimize the cost with existing plant rather than to shift that plant to another area. So our focus should be there to reduce the cost.
Yes, exactly. So rather than quickly taking up decision, analyze and then look at the alternatives. Yes, Mr. Adnan, yes, you raised hand. Yes, Adnan, you are on mute. Unmute yourself, please. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Excuse me, Professor. Like Mamata says, we should reduce the cost rather than to change the localization of the production. And we can opt to the automation of the production in the factory using robots or using new technology, for example, to compress the cost and to increase the quality of the products.
Yes, you might think about the alternative ways of production. Yes, that might be one way. And any other possible alternatives that we have to deal with the same problem area?
Reduce the people.
Or sometime.
I guess, Mr. Victor, yes.
So reduce the people, the company people, the staff, reduce the staff.
Workforce. Oh yes, that can be one, and replace those with maybe more efficient machinery. Yeah, that can be one area.
Sometimes we can diversify our products. That sometimes the perception of our direct customers, though the cost is the same, but the look and then the features of your product is a little bit different than the existing one. Our customers even can ready to purchase with that cost. So this was in one thing we can analyze that part also, that is changing or diversify your product.
Yes. And like George has said, search a new contract. That might be one area. So you search for associations. So these are the possible solutions that we can have. And how will you measure success of each solution provided? How would we see that, okay, whatever solution I've provided, it works further? How would you do that?
We can go through the same process, having the same issues and layer, and then the risks associated that, and then so we can again go to the same downward, analyzing all the possible areas, all. So again, at last we come in, we are in conclusion whether this option is okay or not, just like the previous one.
Exactly. So of course, so we look at them solutions, alternative solutions, check again everything, and then compare. So So we have the solution, we have the alternative solutions, and then we think about which one are you going to pick and why. So what is the best possible solution that you now have handy? So check that, and you of course implement that. So that basically is understanding this whole scenario, wherein we have to break it, define it, identify it, explore certain areas, check the impact, check for possible solutions and alternatives, and then that complete circle actually help us identify or understand that issues and help us better reach our goals. Hope I have made the entire point clear. We are open to questions if there are any, or else we are done with this. Do we have any doubts, questions, queries? You can drop your response in the chat box. You can ask questions.
Okay, I think
yes.
Dr. Kirti, they don't
Get
have
over the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
done.
Kirti.
Thank you.
Participants, yeah, please.
Do I need to sum it up? Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great.
Okay, definitely I would, because it's
Just one announcement before that. I'm sharing a feedback link so that they get some time to fill it. Yeah, please,
sure.
Dr. Kirti, continue.
Sure. So, all right, team, it was really wonderful interacting with you. And tomorrow we have another session lined up. So far in this session, we have discussed about strategic thinking, role of big picture. We have talked about that. We have actually things which enable us to explore business opportunities that we have already taken up. We did engage in, idea generation process. And of course, today, understanding issues, which was a lot of learning for me as well. So now, tomorrow onwards, we would be talking about evolution of marketing theory. Because right now we have understood how things work, how to identify big picture, be a strategic thinker, how do we have to deal with the process of generating ideas, understanding issues, reaching to the right conclusion. So now tomorrow onwards, we will be talking about evolution of marketing theory and practices leading to new paradigm. The digital transformation and its impact on market practices would also be taken up, and understanding customers' perceived values and experiences in market practice, because that is what we would be discussing in these sessions tomorrow onwards. So that's the next step that we have to take up. So it was great interacting with you all. Have a great evening. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. You have this feedback link. We would really request you to share your inputs here. You can also share your inputs on the chat box. Goodbye.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Kirti, for
See you
summing it up.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Yeah. Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tomorrow we connect at the same time, everyone. I'll share the feedback link in WhatsApp group as well. Please share your feedback. It will help us to improvise.
Okay.
Have a nice
Okay. See you tomorrow. Okay. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow, everybody. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.